All right, y'all. Welcome back. We still in the library, so we not finna be loud whatsoever. But welcome back to the channel, man. Glad to have y'all back. Today, pretty much anything I'm reacting to is everything I'm interested in. So 1v1 basketball. I'm gonna start back like the 1v1 football because I used to watch Destroying. Any 1v1 like mono type content. That's my type shit. Like I like bump. So but also nerdy shit. Comics Explained, Newrockstars, Marvel, DC, Mortal Kombat. Like that's all my shit too. So today it's gonna be reacting to New Rockstars. I don't know if this is copyright, but we gonna see when I upload it. Breaking down the new footage for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I dropped my reaction to the new trailer. Go check that out. It drops into July, going into August, so we definitely gonna be watching that. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to it.
Avengers Tower, Ramrod, comic references to the Hulk and Green Goblin, and Peter's spider puberty making him an anti-vaxxer. So many Spider-Man Brand New Day Easter eggs to break down from this new footage. I'm Eric Voss from the Newrockstars channel, and new trailer footage for Spider-Man Brand New Day released since last week's trailer reveals new villains and new theories about Peter's relationship with the city, with Jean Grey, with the Punisher, and a villain that Tom Holland says is still somehow a secret. I'm going to break down this new footage, cover some additional Easter eggs that have come to light, and connect all the dots. Before we begin, a reminder that the best way to support New Rockstars is to head on over to our merch store, nerdriot.shop, where we have the Who's Who spider pointing meme shirt, an Empire State University shirt, and all kinds of great Spider-Man themed designs that go directly to support what we do here at New Rockstars. All right, let's watch this new TV promo.
We all know that Spider-Man fights scary bad guys. But do you know the one thing he is never scared of? Needles.
What the?
It's probably spider puberty.
Hey, come on! What's going on with you, Spider-Man?
Organic webs.
Oh.
Heightened senses.
God, that's cool.
Increased agility.
Everybody knows that the place to find a place is a...
Women's.com.
The Mediterranean diet is the world's healthiest diet, so why aren't you eating it? At Factor, professional chefs and dietitians spend hours building Mediterranean...
You okay, kid? Yeah, you're okay. I didn't know you could get that big.
The opening shot of this new Spider-Man Brand New Day TV promo shows more of Peter's run off of this rooftop, but whereas the shot in the March trailer went right into Peter's horizontal barrel roll jump, now we cut to a completely different flip jump that might be from a different scene. And we see, hey, Avengers Tower in the daylight. This is a new remodel of Avengers Tower that we're going to see in Avengers Doomsday. This, of course, would be after Val began remodeling it to be Sentry's watchtower, as we saw in the Thunderbolts film, until it was reclaimed by the new Avengers to be their base of operations that we see in the movie's post-credit scene and in Doomsday. We saw this new tower in the nighttime in Daredevil Born Again Season 2 Episode 1 and in a morning silhouette shot later in that season. I like to think that the health of the Marvel Cinematic Universe can be best measured by how often the VFX artists include Avengers Tower in the background skyline of other movies. And I like to see this as just a reminder that the people working on this movie want us to think of Spider-Man as someone connected to the Avengers. While we don't know if Tom Holland will return in Avengers Doomsday, he probably will return in Avengers Secret Wars, and hopefully this movie's post-credit scene will explain how he connects to the Avengers next time we see them in Doomsday. Next, added to the montage of Peter fighting other low-level Spider-Man villains and super slow-motion shots that recreate comic book covers, we get a confirmation of a new villain, Ramrod. This is recreating Bob Wiacek's cover of The Amazing Spider-Man number 221 from 1981, when Spider-Man jumps to allow Ramrod to ram his stupid head into the brick wall on the campus of Empire State University. Who is Ramrod, you may ask? I doubt anyone's really actually asking that. Ramrod is a cyborg with metal plating on his head, shoulders, and chest, originally introduced in Daredevil number 103 from 1973 as a creation of Kerwin Broderick and Moondragon as a cyborg weapon against Daredevil. He ends up facing Spider-Man later on in the 1981 comic in a plot by Ramrod to develop a potion that would make people go into a rageful frenzy and then die shortly after. While Ramrod's appearance here doesn't fully match the cover, he does match the appearance that Ramrod has in other comics: green pants, boots, bare chest with the metal on the head and shoulders. They also added these metallic bracers on the arms. The alleyway does not look like Empire State University that we see in other shots from the recent trailer. It's just another corner of New York City. Nothing against Ramrod, but he kinda sucks. Like, anyone who tells you that Ramrod is their favorite Spidey villain is a Rod Ram liar. It kinda seems like they just picked an assortment of Spidey villains like Tarantula, Boomerang, and Ramrod from comic covers that they could recreate to be part of this montage that's gonna span 4 years to show what Peter was doing as Spider-Man in New York City while Ned and MJ were at MIT. But then in this promo we get this new scene where Peter is in a classroom classroom demonstrating vaccination. He keeps his mask on but reveals his arms, which I'm guessing is how Ned was able to deduce that Peter's ethnicity is white, as we saw on Ned's list of characteristics on his research wall. I'm guessing this is part of a Spider-Man PR tour that also includes him getting the key to the city by Mayor Shayla Rivera, as we saw in the March trailer. This nurse just jams a needle into his arm, but the needle breaks on Peter's skin. This is new. Peter's certainly shocked by this because Peter's skin has never been invulnerable like this. In all past films, he gets plenty of cuts and bruises and abrasions. Like even when he's facing the hand in the prison in this movie, he's got cuts on his face there. But this girl in the classroom speculates,
What the? It's probably spider puberty.
Spider puberty was the term that, according to Tom Holland, he actually pitched as the idea for Peter's physiological changes in this film, but he said that the exact phrasing of spider puberty was shut down by the writers. It seems like they're incorporating that pitch into the scene of the film. So the fact that this spider puberty seems to make his skin invulnerable now suggests to me that the battle with the hand is going to be something that happens earlier in the film, considering we see Peter getting cut and bruised up pretty good in that fight. Then we see another shot of Peter fighting Matt Gargan Scorpion, seen in that awesome opening shot of last week's trailer where Peter crashed through not one, but two signs back to back before he lands on the hood of the car. We actually did see Scorpion in the foreground at the beginning of that shot as he was suspending this DODC soldier. Now,
Learn how you could save up to $12,000 at rocketmortgage.com.
How?
Just like that.
Now, throughout this, we hear a female voice, maybe the voice of Peter's new AI assistant, Evie, listing off new adaptations that he's going to have in this movie.
Organic webs. Heightened senses. Increased agility.
In this shot, we see two screens in Peter's apartment showing a scan of Peter's body and his hormone levels, an equal share of human and arachnid. And on the right, that looks like a scan of his DNA and a gene chart. We also see a longer shot of him pressing the organic webbing out of his wrist and a few wet drops of it squirting out, to which Peter's like, yuck. And speaking of Spider-Man's new spider puberty developments, a Korean TV promo features a new angle of Peter's awesome web tornado move on the hand, showing Peter's focused stare downward. I love that Destin Daniel Cretton got so many angles of this one hero move. But then back to the main TV promo that we're breaking down here, we see a police SUV rolling, Peter swinging and saving a kid on a scooter out of harm's way and then patting his helmet. This promo ends with shots of the Hulk from last week's trailer standing in the lab and then thunderclapping. Last week's trailer also showed Hulk still stuck to the rubble as he falls down the side of a building. Remember, I was wondering what super tall building this is, and people looking at Lego sets were saying that it is the DODC building. This Lego set also has Scorpion, Tarantula, and Boomerang with it. I don't know, there could just be another DODC building in this movie, and we don't really know if it's the same one that we see in this shot of the Hulk, but from the Lego site, as you click through the images, it does look like the DODC building is rigged to explode open like this building does in the trailer shot, so I don't know. But apparently the official Spidey Tracker website shared versions of all of these Hulk shots from the trailer as animated GIFs where Hulk looks desaturated and literally gray in those GIFs. So is Hulk actually going to be gray Hulk in this scene and they just made him green for the trailer? There's actually been a lot of thinking out there that colors and effects that we see in this June trailer might be placeholders that are going to be swapped out when we see the theatrical release. For example, Jean Grey's telepathic shockwave, when it stops directly in front of Frank Castle when he's standing in the street, it has the light bending shimmer that Sue Storm's force field has in Fantastic Four First Steps. And some are speculating that that might have just been a placeholder effect that they used for the trailer, and it could end up getting swapped out for a pink or red colored energy wave when we see the film and it's going to be revealed to be Jean Grey. I think at this point I've had an account for every website I've virtual card on. You use clicks options in regular. Use merchant names on their banks if you have a shared card or account. Most privacy since you're actually breach it. Or send cy.com first purchase. Privacy who charges you part of your wrist device.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm most excited for the X-Men. Like, that's the best superhero group in general. It's the X-Men. They're the hardest. Specifically Magneto.
You can barely make out ASM-14, standing for the Amazing Spider-Man number 14 from 1964, which is the first time Spider-Man crosses paths with the Incredible Hulk in Marvel Comics history. But we should say that the Amazing Spider-Man number 14 is also historic because it's the first ever appearance of the Green Goblin. I assume this numerical code in the shot was added for the Hulk of it all. But we can't just ignore that additional layer of historic significance. Why can't we ignore it? Because on his global press tour, stopping recently recently in Rome, Tom Holland was out there saying that the real villain of this movie still has not been revealed yet.
And the villain that we have in this new movie, which is still very much a secret, is, I think, unlike anything we've seen in one of these movies before.
Okay, it's gonna go get crazy.
Why is Tom Holland starting to look old? Like, he look like Tom Cruise right here. Am I tripping?
To all, in comparison to all the other, yeah.
I'm getting closer
exactly.
to the
No, you should walk up.
You gotta love Tom Holland. The guy's always one word away from spoiling something and one step away from injuring himself. But based off of what he said here, it rules out any of the villains that have been prominently featured in the marketing. So could Tom just be referring to Sadie Sink being Jean Grey, which in his mind is still very much a secret kept under wraps by the marketing, and based on her power set would be unlike anything we've seen in a Spider-Man movie before? Could he be referring to Keith David as Dr. Miles Warren, aka the Jackal, if that is indeed who Keith David is playing? Like, we definitely did hear Keith David's voice in the first trailer for March, the voice lecturing about life cycles of spiders. But some of the latest rumors is that Keith David, based on him just being labeled as narrator in the closed captions of that first trailer, is really just going to end up being a David Attenborough style nature documentarian that we just see on a TV screen. So based on that ASM-14 Easter egg, could there be a Norman Osborn or maybe a Harry Osborn lurking outside of the marketing of this movie? A version of Green Goblin unlike what we've seen in the past, where it's always just been Willem Dafoe in an armored suit, or whatever the hell Dane DeHaan was, but rather an actual comic accurate Green Goblin. Is that even possible to put into a 2026 superhero movie without it being completely cringe? Another thing that Tom Holland revealed in this global press tour to IGN's Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg outlet was that only one person remembers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man after the memory wipe spell.
Do the Avengers, do they also remember that you're Spider-Man, or how does it work?
I think no one remembers that I'm Spider-Man, apart from one.
Nobody remembers that you're Peter Parker.
They know Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Yeah, they know Spider-Man. They just don't know
one person.
Okay.
I assume that one person is going to be Sadie Sink's character, Jean Grey, perhaps based on her psionic and telepathic powers, or maybe even her link with the Phoenix Force, if that is already part of her. Certainly she'd be able to bypass the magic of Doctor Strange and the Runes of Kafkal memory wipe spell, a spell that also warps reality itself, meaning that she would have to be a reality warper in her own right. Tom Holland also revealed this tidbit in the same interview.
I think the relationship between Spider-Man and the Punisher. I think what you've seen in the trailers is just the tip of the iceberg. I think what ended up happening naturally on set, which was a lot of just John and I improvising.
Of course, very good friend of you.
A really good friend of mine, someone that, like, I really love John. Like, he's a really close, at the end of this movie, are gonna say, just give us more of that. I wanna do Spider-Man in his TV show.
That boy really got Zendaya, bro.
Yeah.
I want to, like,
see
what
that
happens
version?
when you take, like, a PG-13 character and put him in a rated X TV show?
Rated X? Careful, Tom. I think you mean rated R. An X rating means something very different. But yes, Peter's relationship with Frank Castle is something the trailers just seem to be cutting around. One Punisher detail that I didn't mention in last week's trailer breakdown. In the trailer, we see that Frank is operating out of a boat that's called the Golden Girl. This comes directly from Jerry Conway's Spectacular Spider-Man number 141 in 1976, when Spider-Man and the Punisher team up against Tombstone. The Punisher uses a boat called the Golden Girl as his hideout in that issue. Marvin Jones III will be playing Tombstone in this movie, and some leaked art suggests that we're going to see a slow motion recreation of the following issue, Spectacular Spider-Man number 142, when Tombstone holds Spider-Man over a ledge. Now, that 141 issue does feature a character named Persuader, a villain who can manipulate and control people's minds. That gives those fans of you out there who do not want Sadie Sink to be playing Jean Grey in this movie another alternative option to theorize about, along with Rachel Summers, Madeline Pryor, Spider-Queen Adriana Soria, Mayday Parker, Carly Cooper, Typhoid Mary, Firestar, and any other character that makes even less sense than Jean Grey does. Comment down below with your thoughts, and a special thanks to one of our In Our Underground subscribers, Michael Horwitz, for supporting us at the executive producer level. You can get all of our exclusive bonus content by clicking on the link in the description below or going to nourunderground.supercast.com. Big thanks to Studio Tech Brian Kim, Newrockstars editors Joshua Stephen Hurd and Abby Friel, and all of our supporting editors for their work on this video. Follow me at EA Voss. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Like, comment, subscribe, y'all. But yeah.